His fourth mark of the string.
All spares. Hasn't thrown a strike since the triple.
Well, there's only so many to each bowler. He used up his quota in one box.
He threw 5 in that one game. 5 strikes in the first game.
It's more strikes than I get in a month. You get in one game. Off target. 5.
Oh, yes.
I was just going to say he's going to lose some of his lead, but not very many. But now I'm not so sure he may lose any. In fact, he'll increase it. Anything over 4 pins, he'll increase the lead of 42.
Ooh, through the middle for 4, and it's a 124. So things stay the same after 2 games. The lead is still 41. Mike Morgan trying to make it 3 wins in a row and get into the finals. We'll see if Dave Richards can stop him right after these words. The applause is for Mike Morgan, who has 290 through 2 games. And as you see, also has the lead.
Well, somebody from the crowd said, come on, Mikey, start off with a strike. He very nearly did. Everything but the 10 pin. Get a shot of his backswing. His backswing is, he's perpendicular to the floor at the height of his backswing. Right there. Big backswing.
No.
It's going to be a 9, no.
Took the piece of wood in the channel. So that's a 9 box for Mike Morgan. Mike thought he was playing bumpers there for a second. Which, by the way, speaking of that. Oh, big spare for Mike Morgan. He comes right back in the second box after missing the first one.
Great recovery there. Cleared those 8 pins away.
Perhaps you could describe that, Dan. It's quite an innovation for kids. It's really
taken off.
Yeah.
And basically what it is like big inner tubes that we put in the channels, the gutters, so the little guys, little gals can throw and knock pins down. They get immediate gratification from the game rather than a frustrating first experience. And just see that Dave convert this spare. And personally, I know Nick Muskelly and a lot of the NACBA members, but from my own experience, tremendous amount of birthday parties with real young children because they use the bumpers. And that's the future in this game, the youngsters.
Well, it's just a great idea because how many times, I mean, both you and I growing up, you see youngsters trying to play the game, and it gets very frustrating because it gets tough to keep the ball in the lane when you're, little and first trying out and so forth. Dave Richards puts up 2 spares here to start the 3rd game. Fine shot right there.
Just to carry it one step further, a new bowler, regardless of his or her age, when I'm giving lessons, I'll use the bumpers a lot of times because that way it eliminates one problem. They want some instant gratification of knocking pins down, and when you don't have to worry about that, they'll knock things down. You can concentrate on the little basic things, the steps, the approach, the arm swing, and things like this. So it's quite a teaching tool as well.
Now, we've talked about how great it is, and there's no doubt about that, but what I want to know is there anything we can do similarly for golf? Can we put big,
Well, I found one secret. Play early in the morning when the dew is still on the green, and drag your putter from the ball to the hole. We need all the help we can get, Doug, you and I, game of golf. 4-7 for Mike Morgan.
Looked like it would be even better than that. spare leave nonetheless. Oh, yes. Mark number 15 for Mike Morgan. 2 weeks ago, he had a Tournament of Champions record 21 marks when he beat Glenn LeBlanc, throwing that .455.
Dave Richards got a mini string, 2 marks in a row, 7-pin drop again. 3, 8, and 10 pins left for another mark. Not this time.
Dave upset with himself. He was wanted to string things together here. He knows that he's probably thinking that he's got to mark every box because he knows Mike is going to mark some before it's over.
Lead is 34. However, as you can see, Mike Morgan already has a spare in the 4th. Dave, that little rocker step before he starts his approach.
Well, this will be an interesting try, especially depending on where that wood ends up. It's going to freeze against the 5-pin. It'll be the 2, 5, and 7.
May hurt him if he splits him.
Oh, perfect. Played it inside, and he matches Mike Morgan's spare in the 4th. We'll pause and return on the Tournament of Champions in just a minute. Mike Morgan steps up working on a spare, leading by 34. This is the semifinal match of the 4th annual Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. So glad you could join us. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. Stay tuned right after our match for the semifinals of the Doubles Tournament of Champions.
4-7 on the left with the 6-pin on the right, trying to split the. Oh, just missed the 2-pin.
Oh, there's a little cut shot for a 10. Just a little ho-hum shot on the 2-6.
Just missed it with the spare ball. This time he doesn't, and he gets it for the 10.
If you tuned in late, well, I hope you had the VCR going. Mike Morgan with a 166 opening game, and he's been nursing that lead ever since. He's got the 1, 2, and 7 this time. And the weight is on the wood.
Now he gets ready and makes his approach on the 1, 2, 7.
Oh, he's going to get it. He bounced that ball a little bit. He was off target to the right, but he carried it anyway.
He was flush on the head pin. Almost didn't even take the 2-pin.
Well, Mike's bowled very well in these 3 weeks, but he's also gotten some breaks, and he's taken advantage of them, and he's fully aware of that. He's had a lot of fun with it.
Well, when you're bowling good, sometimes, or most of the time, you get the breaks as well.
And then on the other hand,
the tough break for Dave Richards. Wood deflected the 3-pin by the 5. Never touched it.
Well, Dave is still in a position where if he puts a mark up here, he'll have kept the status quo, but he'll have 2 fewer boxes. And he's already dangerously close to a situation where he's going to need strikes anyway.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Dave went down into his full Tony Pena stance, but didn't quite carry the 10-pin. And another 10 box. Take a look at it. Cut it too well.
Twisted in front of the 10-pin a couple times, but never knocked it down. Never came in contact with it, really. is a big ball for Mike Morgan. 4 frames remaining, leading by 34, plus this ball. Only 5.
Well, last week, it was lane 32 that was, or rather lane 31 that was so successful for Mike, and the same pattern has developed this week. He's had 3 marks in this game, all in lane 31. And last week, he also threw a strike on lane 31 for the bonus ball, after all that. This time, a spread eagle. I think I'm just going to stop talking about this stuff.
I was going to say.
I mean, it's interesting stuff, you know. And
it really is, until he throws his next ball. And I don't think he thinks it's very interesting at all. Kurt Gowdied him. I heard
really
that.
Did. Yeah.
Roger Clemens said that a few weeks ago, and kind of stuck with me.
Well, 2 opens by Mike Morgan, a pair of 9s.
Well,
Dave Richards is going to do it. This is the time.
2 big marks here. He could cut it down and still leave himself room to do it in the last 2. But I would dare say he needs 4 marks.
Oh, there's a big one.
Throws a double. Throws a double. Could be almost a brand new game.
Watch this pin slide over the 4-pin.
Wow. Looking for the double. Looks good. Little high. Got a kick, though. Two in the 4 pins for the spare and a big one. Started approaching, the wood started moving again.
Yes.
Ooh.
The hard way. Well, this means when Dave comes up again, he will have a chance to cut the lead from 27 down perhaps to under 20. But of course, it'll all depend on what Mike Morgan puts up here.
Yeah, Mike doesn't mark these final 2. Dave Richards is going to have a shot to win it.
Well, it's looking better all the time for Mike Morgan, although now he's got the 1 and the 10 with essentially no wood. Although you never know, that wood in the back
Now it's moving into
could become a factor.
Yeah. It's moving into a position now where it may be a factor. You got to give yourself a chance at making it by hitting the head pin. Well, Dave Richards not looking. He knows the scoreboard. He doesn't want to hear the crowd roar with another mark.
Well, there it was. For a 10 bucks, though, you know, right now, Dan, each bowler has 16 marks in the match as we get a look at the 10. Each bowler has 16 marks. The difference really right now is that finish in the first game by Mike Morgan. 70 pins in 3 boxes, including a triple strike. That's the difference in this match right now. That is a big drop right there, leaving the 4-pin.
It's a big drop. It's going to be a bigger mark. Well, wood turned just enough so he can still have a clear shot at it. I think ideally he'd want to stay away from the wood.
Oh! Oh, you're right. Ideally, he would have liked to stay away from the wood. Well, are we going to have a fantastic finish here? It's a 9-box for Mike Morgan, and he will finish up with a 404. Ho hum, another 400. This means Dave Richards needs a 155 to tie it.
Right now he's at about a 129 clip, but he's got 2 full boxes. Oh boy,
this ball is very important.
Oh,
and he gets the big break.
A huge break. A huge break when that 10-pin. He threw the ball in the pocket. I'd say it was a break, but the ball was there
because he needs 2 marks. He's got to have 2 marks somewhere in order to get 155. There's 1. The work is far from over. He still needs a big fill and another one.
He's got to keep it up by, well, 8 and 9 fills. Can't have a bad fill.
Nope. On the spare.
Oh,
right through the middle. Gets another break. This is not over yet, gang. A mark here and a 9 on it is a tie.
Right. You need this one and a strike to win it.
Yep.
That wood is turned at a bad angle, though. Yep.
Oh, and that's it. That is it. And you see the reaction. And over on the bench, Mike Morgan just leaned back and threw a towel in the air.
Well, the wood was turned, actually, was parallel with the gutter, or the channel there on the left-hand side. It didn't have a good angle to cover the 7th, and that's what happened. Great try, though, by Dave Richards.
Terrific finish, double high fives all around, and there is the story. 404 to 395. Mike Morgan makes it 3 in a row. He moves into the finals. We'll have more in a minute. We're back here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and Dave, come on up. Dave Richards, come on up. We'll keep the applause going. As Dave almost bringing a Garrison finish there down the end. You must have known exactly what you needed, right?
I knew I needed 4 marks to go out with, and when he opened in the 10th, I says, I got a shot, and I just threw that ball like I could, and couldn't carry that last mark, though.
Well, actually, we had a look at that on the replay, and the piece of wood came down on the plate and just missed carrying that 7-pin. It was very, very close. And a terrific finish nonetheless. We have third-place prize money for you, $400, the runner-up plaque as well from the M&R Trophy Company, and we hope to see you again next season, Dave. Great job. All right, great job. Thank you very much, Dave Richards. A great finish, just not quite enough to beat Mike Morgan, and Mike Morgan will now try and get us a winner. $150 is in the jackpot right now. And, of course, a couple of sets of brand-new bowling balls from Paramount Industries. This is the third time that Mike has done this. We'll see if we can do it right this time. 8 is the number. Dan, you're shaking your head.
No, 6.
8 is a winner. Should I mention who it is? I guess I probably should. John Downs from Rochester, New Hampshire. Congratulations, John. We'll give you all of the check. We don't give this guy any. He'll get a check next week. And congratulations. That means we'll be recycling the jackpot next week, and also you'll be back next week. Well, you had him all the way, right?
No, let's put it this way. He had a couple tough breaks, and I kind of I was running out of gas near the end, and he came on. I mean, he got robbed 3 boxes in a row where 1 pin stayed up. If they fall, it's over.
I saw your reaction at the end. I think you thought maybe it was over.
No, right? I knew once he didn't get the mark, I had it. I knew he needed that with 9 to tie.
But I think from your reaction, it looked like you thought he was going to get it.
No, I didn't want to filling it up. That's all. I didn't want to look for 1 more ball, you know.
Well, next week you've got 3 in a row, so you've come all the way up, and now it's to the finals against Paul Berger. Nothing more needs to be said about him, I guess.
Sure. Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to leave anything in my bag. I'm just going. I got to go all out because you know, if I lay down for 4 or 5 boxes, it's too late.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, 3 in a row. Nice job. 3rd straight 400. Let's spin you over to the ladder and just set it up for next week as we'll move into the finals, and our number 4 seed, Mike Morgan, after 3 wins in a row, will go up against Paul Berger for all the money.
You know, we just mentioned that a couple weeks ago, how we hadn't had anybody since Pat Pay come up from that position to win it all, and he's put himself in a position to do just that.
All right, that, of course, is next week, but don't go away, because coming up in just a few minutes, we've got a semifinal in the doubles tournament of champions for you. And, of course, don't forget, next Sunday at 12 noon, 2 full hours, our last shows of the season. It'll be big money on the line in both tournaments of champions starting at 12 noon here on the Winds. But until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, Doug Brown, so long from Park Place Lanes.
Hi, this is Kimberly Carson. Here's what's happening on the Movie Watch Sunday double feature. First up at 2, travel west with a boisterous bunch of cowpokes, con artists, and Conestoga pulling pioneers. John Ford's Wagon Master at 2. Then at 4, he's seen a mob hit. If he talks, he's dead. If he doesn't, he goes up the river for contempt. Aidan Quinn, Brian Dennehy, Perfect Witness is at 4 on the Movie Watch Sunday double feature. And coming up next, join Doug and Dan for the Tournament of Champions. It's the semifinals on Stars.